Hello, guys. Okay, so it was brought to my attention this interview that Cole Sprouse did, who plays Jughead Jones on Riverdale. Now, this interview took place around episode 5, season 2, and I'm going to really quickly get it what it said. Basically, what's said in this video, I'm going to talk about it. And why I'm not putting this on Twitter is because I want to get a little more in depth with it, so I feel like it's going to be too long, so I'm uploading it to YouTube, and I'm sorry for the quality, it's not the best, but it's better than on my phone because that little screen is just not cool. Like, I want you to fully see everything. But anyways, and I'm not great at putting things in videos, like doing videos, like I'm not known, I don't know how to edit videos and all that shit, so I'm gonna try and put this video of the interview in this video that I'm making, but if I can't, I will link it with this video on YouTube. So basically what's said is, I'm sorry, I'm reading it real quick. Archie is also Jughead's weakness when it comes to Betty. Now this kind of, I, Archie is also Jughead's weakness when it comes to Betty. Like, what does that mean? I'm curious. Like, Archie is Jughead's weakness when it comes to Betty. What does that mean? Like, I mean, you guys probably know, but to me, it just sounds weak. Like, not weird, but like interesting because it's like Archie is also Jughead's weakness when it comes to Betty. And I'm kind of like, what does that mean? Like, like he like, I don't know. That's just something I want to say. Like, that's a little something I'm not. If you know, you tell me. Like, for me, reading it's just like, what does that mean? Like, he's his weakness when it comes to Betty. I guess because it has something to do with his insecurities about Betty and Archie. Let me read the rest and then get into it. Betty has always favored Archie, and it's something that we will definitely see prevalence later on in the season. Jughead felt more like the third wheel. Okay. Now, Cole said this, okay? Cole Sprouse said this. Now, basically in the video, he's talking about how um, Archie, Betty, and Jughead grew up as like the three amigos, but Betty always favored Archie. And later on, and we'll get to, like, later on in the season 2, we'll get to see more of that. And we'll also get to see what kind of friendship Jughead and Betty had, if they did have one. Like, okay, not, fuck, I just said it the wrong way. Not like, okay, he's basically saying we'll get to see really what the friendship was like with just Betty and Jughead, and if Jughead just felt like the third wheel when it came to all of them, which I'm interested to see, like, what kind of friendship did Jughead and Betty have, because I feel like, even though they were the three amigos, I do feel like it was more Betty and Archie. Um, I mean, you could even see whenever the season started, season 1, Jughead and Archie were kind of at each other's throats a little bit because, they weren't really friends, because of Miss Grundy. Ugh. But anyways, that quickly, refixed itself, and they're all good, they're friends, best friends again, and I love it because I love Archie and Jughead, and I love their friendship, like, I love it so much, like, I don't want it to be ruined, so that's my number one concern when it comes to Archie and Betty happening. But so Cole is saying, and he said this before, but Cole is saying, he's Jughead's always felt like the third wheel when it came to Archie and Betty and them all hanging out. And that Betty always favored Archie, going to show that Archie always has been her crush. She's always just been more attached to Archie, and they live next to each other. They of course are going to be a lot closer, but they have a connection that is deeper than the connection Jughead, Archie, and Betty have. So it is hard for Jughead to kind of except that they all are friends, but at the same time, he knows that Betty favors Archie, and we'll see that later on in the season, and we'll see kind of what Betty and Jughead's friendship was like when they were growing up, if it was different, if there was that real friendship there, or if he just always felt like the third wheel. And that's why I want to get in depth with this, because that is what I say this in a lot of my videos, and I've been saying it. Jughead is very insecure when it comes to Archie and Betty. We've seen it when I don't know the exact episode, but when it was Jughead's birthday in season 1, he's telling Betty, it's like, oh, you're with me until Archie decides he wants to be with you. And, a lot of people have kind of made said little things about them. I mean, even Jughead himself narrates the Archie and Betty scenes, like really monumental scenes when they're staring at each other through the windows, and it's like these feelings that have long been buried shook loose. Like, come on, of all people to narrate, I know he's a narrator, but Jughead narrating that scene is just epic. I mean, I don't know. But what I want to get into is I do believe that Jughead is very insecure when it comes to Archie and Betty's friendship. Even though he's with Betty and he knows that she loves him, I think deep down he always feels like she loves Archie more and secretly she still wants to be with him. And so when the kiss comes out in episode 14 to him, this is what gets me. Like, okay, when the kiss comes out in episode 14, and you know, of course, Veronica kisses Jughead to show him that the kiss meant nothing, which really isn't showing that the kiss meant nothing because, I mean, I don't know how Archie and Betty kissing in that moment can compare to Veronica and Jughead kissing just to prove that the kiss meant nothing because you can say it meant nothing, but Archie and Betty are the ones who really know if it meant nothing, and it clearly meant something because the triangle's coming into play. But so we'll see Veronica and Jughead kiss because Veronica wants to show him, you know, like because she's fine with the kiss, which okay. But cuz I feel like that's not, you know, that's not going to keep on going that way. She's not going to keep on just being like I'm fine with the kiss. Um and who knows, Veronica and Jughead kissing might bring out some stuff, you know, not saying in that episode per se, but the episodes after might, you know, includes some drama since that weekend at the cabin because, you know, they're drinking, the kiss comes out, Veronica and Jughead kiss. I mean, I'm not saying it means something. Of course, I'm not saying that, but it's a kiss, you know, a kiss whether it means something or not, it's still like an intimate moment with someone, especially when that someone's not your boyfriend. So with Archie and Betty, it does mean something so much more because I mean, they're best friends. They both clearly have feelings for each other. I mean, and they were both very shocked that they actually kissed each other. You know, they weren't like, "Oh my God, we kissed." Like, ugh, this meant nothing. It was more of like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I just like." Betty was like, and Archie was like Betty, and because they were shocked that I mean of all people to instigate it, I love that it was Betty, but it's like it they were shocked that they actually kissed, and I think it did mean something. It's very clear that it meant something because if it didn't, I don't know. I feel like they would have talked about it by now, like been like, you know, we kissed. It didn't mean anything. We're best friends. Like, come on, move along, you know. But yet we have yet to see that acknowledged. But now we will in episode 14 because Jughead finds out, which is what I want to talk about. See, for me, Jughead finding out about the kiss, I feel like I feel like okay. Now we know that Jughead and Veronica kiss, and then after that, Jughead's in the bedroom with Betty, and she's in her dark Betty outfit, which really, writers, that's just disgusting. You're sexualizing her mental illness, but okay. And she's like, I gotta punish you, and he seems into it, which don't you actually think she's acting a little nutso? I mean, she doesn't even seem like she's Betty Cooper in that moment. She just seems like a totally different Betty. But it's clear that he's not gonna help her apparently. But and I love Jughead. Don't get me wrong. Like I love him so much. He is like my favorite. I love Archie. I love Archie so much. But Jughead, I just relate to so much. But what it is when he finds out about the kiss. Now, I know they're gonna try and downplay it. They're gonna Veronica's gonna try and convince them, you know, it meant nothing. Like, come on, we'll kiss. It means nothing. I'm excited to see the kiss though because oh, they're kissing pretty hard. So I don't know. Like, and then Archie and Betty are watching and like, whoa, shit's getting fucking dramatic in this group of four. Like, they have everyone in this group has so many different things going on separately and together that it just is like mind blowing. Like there's so much shit going on, but I love it. I love stuff like this. But with Jughead, when he finds out about the kiss, of course he's gonna be angry. But then it kind of seems like later in the episode he's like okay with it. But I don't feel like that would be Jughead. Like we know Jughead is insecure about Archie and Betty, and I do believe in the back of his mind he always thinks that Betty would choose Archie over him if it came down to it. I do believe he thinks that. And so for me, if he does just hear about the kiss and be like, all right, it was meant nothing. Like he doesn't make a big deal, nothing. Then I feel like that's not going to continue on because I just don't feel like that's the reaction Jughead would have. Because even though you're saying it meant nothing, it still happened and he still has these insecurities about Archie and Betty. I mean, he's always seen the connection they have. He's always seen that they were always super close. Even when it was the three of them, they were always the ones who were attached basically at the hip. So of course those insecurities are always gonna be there no matter what. And I mean he knows that she likes him. I mean of course she loves Jughead, but that doesn't mean she doesn't still like Archie. You don't just suddenly stop liking someone you've been liking since you were like 4 years old. Like come on, you just don't. But so with Jughead, if he like is if he, makes is like, I can't believe you kissed, and he's all upset, and then to kind of calm him down, Veronica kisses him because they're still talking about it in the hot tub, I guess. And then it kind of just is put under the rug again until the triangle starts in episode 19. But then you have episode 18 where Betty and Archie are playing a couple who are possibly going to have to kiss, which could create some more stuff. And I mean, I did read that Betty breaks up with Jughead and Archie goes after Betty. And it's like, but I also heard that Betty and Jughead are dating in episode 18, so it's kind of like I'm confused. Like, you don't really know what to believe. Like, you read it and it looks real and it looks like this is what's actually happening, and people are like, oh, this is what's happening. But then something else you read says something totally different, and you're like, well, that makes no sense because if she breaks up with him, because it clearly can't be an old interview, because I mean, Betty didn't break up with Jughead last time. Jughead broke up with Betty last time. So it definitely can't be a past tense kind of thing. It has to be somehow in this future episodes in season 2, which would lead me to believe that Betty breaks up with Jughead. Possibly maybe after episode 18, maybe I mean, maybe that's the final straw. Maybe he watching Archie and Betty play this couple and maybe seeing them kiss again is just, I don't know. Like, it's so intriguing. I'm sorry I'm getting everywhere, but it's so confusing and intriguing and interesting, and I want to know, and I just don't know what's going on. And like, I'm so excited because the triangle starts in episode 19, and episode 18, Archie and Betty play a couple, which I also heard that apparently the song they're supposed to sing as these two characters in the play might instead be Betty and Veronica singing it, which would be such bullshit. Like, don't take that away from us. Like, if Archie and Betty's characters are supposed to sing the song, then let them sing the song. Like, don't ruin it. Like, why would you have Veronica and Betty? Come on. Maybe because, maybe Betty notices that Veronica isn't really okay with this. I don't know. We'll see how that all goes. Because I'm excited to see when they get cast and they see, Jughead and Veronica see that Archie and Betty are playing a couple. And I'm also intrigued. I'm guessing Kevin set this up. So, Kevin. Now, Kevin's a Barchi shipper, let's be honest, he is. He still is, deep down he is, I think he still roots for them because he still thinks there's feelings there, and there is. But anyways, so this person wanted me, sorry, I'm getting everywhere, but I wanted to get into it because like this person wanted me to talk about the video and about Jughead being insecure. And I just feel like with the kiss coming out in episode 14, I feel like they're gonna kind of have a moment about it and then it's gonna be glossed over. But I just don't feel like that would be Jughead's real reaction. I feel like it's gonna weigh on him. I feel like it's gonna be constantly in his head and he's gonna constantly think about it. I don't think he's just gonna get over it. I just don't think that. And then seeing Archie and Betty have scenes together, like if he's in a scene with Archie and Betty interacting, of course he's gonna be thinking, like watching them be best friends and thinking, oh, they kiss. Like, I just feel like with Jughead, the kiss is always gonna be on his mind, and to him, it doesn't mean nothing, it means something. But I think maybe he's just gonna go along with it for now, because it seems like that way in episode 14. But I could be wrong. But I just feel like with Jughead, since he is so insecure about the friendship between Betty and Archie and how connected they really are. I mean, even Veronica sees it. Everyone sees it. It's just so obvious. So I definitely think that the whole kiss thing, he might act like he's okay. Like he might get upset. He will get upset, finding out about it, and then it will be kind of, pushed under the rug. But I don't think that's the end of it. I don't think he's just going to be okay with it and accept that it meant nothing. I truly believe that he will think it meant something because he's, because kisses, he did kiss Tony, yes, and it meant nothing, but, well, you can't, yeah, you say it meant nothing, but kissing is an intimate thing. I mean, I think any kind of kiss means something. I mean, it's an intimate moment you're sharing with someone who you're not dating, so it is kind of a big deal. And I mean, this happened when he had just broken up with her and Veronica had just broken up with Archie. So, I mean, that's also going to play a factor. And I just think that Jugheads might act okay with the kiss at first, but I don't think that's the way it's going to play coming in the next episodes. And maybe that's what leads to. But then again, why would that lead to Betty breaking up with Jughead? Like, see, I'm so interested. Like, Archie going after Betty and Betty breaking up with Jughead. Like, if that's true, then Betty breaks up with Jughead and then Archie goes after her. But then would he still be with Veronica? Or would they be broken up? Or is that how the triangle starts? Like, it's so confusing because we know the triangle starts in episode 19, but in episode 18, with the play happening, I know a lot of shit's gonna go down, I feel like, anyways, and I feel like maybe if Betty and Jughead are still dating, maybe that's the episode Betty breaks up with Jughead because she admits that maybe the kiss did really actually mean something because they had to kiss again in the play and maybe it brought back those feelings of kissing the first time in the car because we all know it meant something, people, come on. Like, okay, you cannot believe it because you're a Bughead or Archie fan, but it meant something. I believe it did. I mean, a lot of people do it. Like I said, kissing is an intimate thing, a lot of times it means something. Yeah, sometimes you can just kiss like plain spit in the bottle kiss, but this was a kiss, like Jughead and Veronica, that is a kiss also. Like their lips are pressed. So oh my god, imagine if they start making out, like, because they want to like get back at Archie and Betty for kissing each other. Like, oh my god, I would, oh my god, please, please, please. No. But so yeah, I don't that's what I want to kind of talk about. Like, I just feel like with the kiss, I don't feel like Jughead, like it just seems in episode 14 that they kind of like he gets upset at first, but then it's kind of glossed over and all that stuff. But I feel like come the next few episodes, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, because there's like 22 episodes, it's not gonna be that way. Up whether it be before episode 18 or it be episode 18, I feel like Betty and Jughead are going to end, and then the triangle starts in episode 19. But I'm so intrigued as how it starts. I know this is so off topic, but everything is just so confusing right now, but also exciting. And it's like, I just feel like with Jughead, this kiss is going to weigh on him a lot. And I just feel like he might say he's okay with it, but he's not. Because he's always going to be insecure about the relationship between Archie and Betty, the friendship, he always is going to be. He's let it be known in season one, and it's always something there. Even, in 209, was it right? Where they did the, was it two? Yeah, 209, where they did the Christmas exchange. I mean, you could see Veronica and Jughead, noticing how the connection that Archie and Betty have and how far back they go together because they've been best friends since they were 4. I mean, they've lived next to each other their whole lives, basically. They're 16 years old. So, I mean, they know, Veronica and Jughead know that connection. And so I think that's something that's always in their minds. Veronica, I don't know, she kind of hides the fact that she notices it, but at the same time, she does. And I think that's eventually going to be known. I think she's eventually going to, I don't know, maybe not. Because Veronica just kind of is playing it right now cool. Like, she's not making, she does that one scene where she was like, Betty, do you mind if I steal my man? And it's kind of like, I don't care, like, she had to say my man. So you know that the kiss is irritating her. But with Jughead, since he is so insecure when it comes to Betty and Archie, I think that this kiss is going to weigh on him, and I think that Betty and Jughead are going to break up, and I do hope it is Betty who breaks up with Jughead. I mean, it would make more sense if Jughead broke up with Betty because he can't be with her knowing that she has feelings for Archie, and just because, they kissed, he can't accept that. But then again, I could see Betty breaking up with Jughead because maybe if they do kiss in episode 18, if they are still dating, maybe when her and Archie do kiss in episode 18, it brings back those feelings, and she feels like it's not fair to Jughead, so maybe she breaks up with him because she admits that she does still like Archie, and she wants to kind of explore that, and she doesn't want to hurt him anymore by being with them and also liking Archie, so that would make sense. But anyways, Cole said it, Cole said it best, and he knows because he is in the show, he is this character. I mean, we're gonna see later on in the season, what kind of friendship Betty and Jughead had, minus Archie, and how Jughead felt like the third wheel, and how he always kind of had this insecurity about Betty and Archie and how they were together because he always seen them as this, like he just, they were the three amigos, but in his mind it was the two amigos and just a sidekick basically. Like he just has these insecurities. So I just don't think the kiss. At first, he might be okay with it, but I think the kiss is gonna weigh on him, and that's going to cause problems. And I'm just curious as to everything that leads up to episode 19 when the triangle starts, because it's clear when the triangle starts, Betty and Jughead have to be broken up, but then again, Veronica and Archie might still be together. So, I mean, but then again, yeah, Betty and Jughead have to be broken up. And I mean, yeah, because he's not part of the triangle. It's Betty, Archie, and Veronica. So, I mean, clearly Betty and Jughead do break up, and I do hope it is Betty who breaks up with Jughead. I think that would be awesome. And if she does, it's because she finally admits that she does still like Archie, and that the kiss did mean something. Because I mean, the triangle starts, so something happens along the way. So I'm super excited to see. Sorry this was really long, but I just wanted to get kind of in depth with it because everything's just very confusing right now. And, I'm very excited and interested to see what's going to happen and how it's going to go down. And I just don't believe that Jughead's going to be okay with the kiss. Yeah, he might get upset at first, and then it will be glossed over, but I think it's still going to continue in his head, replaying that they kissed. It's just not something I think he's going to be like Veronica and push down and pretend it doesn't exist. I think for him, it's going to keep weighing on him. So that's what I wanted to say. I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry this was long. If you watched all the way through, thank you very much. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. All right, bye guys. Oh, I forgot.